So who is your instructor in this class? Well, I'm actually a graduate of the institution where I teach at. I earned my graduate degree in software engineering back in 2015. And shortly after graduating, actually a year later, I began teaching as an adjunct faculty member within the graduate engineering school. Prior to that, I've spent over 25 years working in a variety of IT organizations in the Twin Cities marketplace. Anything from startup companies to mid-sized organizations and even several Fortune 500 companies. My big claim to fame is that I co-founded the largest data center company in Minnesota. And after successfully exiting that business a decade ago, I worked with a number of startup companies as a consultant and other companies that were trying to understand how they can accelerate the delivery of software within their organization. In several cases, I've worked with companies that were transitioning from on-premise infrastructure into the cloud, and they were looking for expert knowledge and understanding how to make that transition successfully. Recently, I was honored to be selected as one of the members of the first cohort of AWS Educate Cloud Ambassadors. So not only am I introducing AWS technologies into my classroom and I'm teaching students how to use AWS, but I'm also working with other educators and helping to introduce AWS technologies into their classrooms. When I'm not working and when I'm not teaching, I spend time with my young family. And I'm also engaged in a number of personal hobbies, including underwater photography, cycling. I love to play analog synthesizers, and I'm a classically trained musician. Not only do I play the synthesizers, but I also will build them as well. And then finally, I really enjoy doing woodworking with traditional woodworking tools. Let's get started. Let's jump into our course. So to sort of set the stage for the course, I want to step back in time, step back in history a bit, and look at manufacturing in the 1980s. Manufacturers in the 1980s faced a serious challenge. They were being asked to protect sales and at the same time reduce costs. Well, what does protect sales mean? Well, in order to protect sales, companies had to increase inventory. Protecting sales means that if a customer calls your company to place an order, you want to have inventory on hand in order to be able to successfully fulfill that order. Because if a potential customer calls you and you can't fulfill their order, then they're simply going to go somewhere else. And so you want to try to protect that sales revenue. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you have inventory on hand to fulfill customer orders. At the same time, though, these companies were being pressured to reduce costs. And one of the best ways to reduce costs in a manufacturing organization is to reduce inventory. So you can see the dilemma that these manufacturers faced. On one hand, they had to increase their inventory, and on the other hand, they had to decrease their inventory. Well, out of this dilemma and this challenge came a solution in the form of the lean production system, which was created by Toyota. And the lean production system absolutely revolutionized manufacturing. Things like just-in-time manufacturing, Kaizen, this idea of continuous improvement, these things absolutely revolutionized manufacturing and made manufacturers more efficient and more profitable. And you would be hard-pressed to find a major manufacturer anywhere in the world today that's not following some practices that are part of the lean production system. Software organizations face similar sorts of challenges. If you're working in a software company or just a company that has an IT organization that's building its software for internal use or for customers, software organizations face two sort of diametric challenges. One is organizations are being asked to produce value quickly. Gone are the days where we can spend years building a new software product. Today, frankly, we have months, oftentimes, before we have to release some sort of minimal viable candidate. At the same time, though, our software organizations are being asked to deliver reliable services, right? The services that we're delivering are becoming more and more mission critical. They're being embedded in every process within the organization. Our software and our automated processes cannot fail because it will significantly impact the organization. The challenge is then, how do we produce value quickly in a software organization while delivering services reliably? Well, today, modern IT organizations are turning to DevOps practices to improve the velocity of our service delivery and improve the quality of the services that we are delivering to our internal stakeholders and to our customers. So just like lean manufacturing has revolutionized or lean production system has revolutionized manufacturing, DevOps is revolutionizing the modern IT organization. Now, this picture with a number signifies something that's really important and in this course. The picture depicts part of the Amazon jungle, and the number is 2.7 million. Now, if you connect the two together, what this represents is the number of deployments that Amazon, the company, makes on an annual basis. So Amazon deploys over 2.7 million software releases to production systems on an annual basis, which is an extraordinary number. Now, Amazon, of course, is a very large organization that probably has literally thousands of development teams. But still, if you do the math, that's an extraordinary track record in terms of software deployments. And Amazon is known as a very innovative, fast-moving, and very stable and reliable company. In fact, the cloud services that we're going to be using in this course, the Amazon Web Services cloud platform, is a foundational infrastructure platform that powers and supports millions of businesses across the world. So the fundamental question then that we need to ask ourselves in this course is, how is Amazon able to achieve such a high level of reliability when they deploy updates so frequently to their production infrastructure? So despite the unbelievable rate of change taking place in their environment, they're able to provide extremely reliable services to their customers. If you look at a traditional organization, and I've worked in many of them throughout my career, traditional organizations might deploy just a handful of software changes on an annual basis. So what makes Amazon so different? How do they do it? That's the fundamental question that we are going to attempt to answer in this course.